Hey everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video. And today I would like to talk a little bit more about the DC relaunch. I know I've been talking about this a lot lately. I've been hammering it on the head a lot. But to be honest, it's a big thing that's happening in comics, and it's coming up to us real quickly in September. So I figured I might as well talk a little bit more about it. I've been thinking about it a lot lately. I've actually been talking with friends about it. And I have some opinions I'd like to share with you guys about the good that can come from this, the bad that can come from this, the advantages, opportunities, and the pitfalls that can come from this relaunch. Now, the key word I used just a few seconds ago was opinion. This is purely my opinion on the matter. That means if you don't agree with it, doesn't matter. The great things about opinions is that we don't have to agree. And you know what? I would love to hear your opinions in the comments or by video responding. I'd like to hear what you guys think. We're part of a big comic book community. And, well, I'd love to hear what my comic book brethren think about a specific subject that I talk about. So with that said, let's actually talk about the specific stuff that I'm going to be addressing in this video. First and foremost, before I jump into anything, I'm a little tired. I don't have anything really set in my head right now on what I'm going to talk about. I had to wake up early for my first summer class for this summer session, trying to graduate early. So I'm a teeny bit tired seeing I had to wake up around 5 and 6 o'clock. It's rough. But I will try the best I can to convey how I feel on these specific areas. So let's jump into it. Let's start off with some of the good, and I'm going to be bouncing back and forth a lot. Like I said, I don't really have a structure for this. Usually I have a good structure for videos. I do not script videos at all, but I do have a good idea of what I'm going to be talking about. This I'm just going to be blabbering from my mouth, so be prepared for blabbering. Anyways, with that said, the first good is that DC, for me at least, this is something I think is good, is rebranding their Justice League. Why? Well, as much as I like the Justice League comics now and the characters that are on it, like Starman, Con Gorilla, Donna Troy, Dick Grayson, I've said it time and time again and time before, and yeah, that works out, that the Justice League comic needs to be the core big names of the DC Universe. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, not Martian Manhunter anymore, apparently, but Aquaman. This is the big names of the DC Universe, and it should be the flagship comic of the company. If you look back at the Justice League comic when it first came out, with those core big name members, it was the flagship of the company for a long time. When JLA came out, it was again the flagship comic for the company for a long time because they used the big names. People want to see these big names team up. That doesn't mean that you can't have the Atom or Black Canary or Hawkman or anyone else jump onto the team from time to time, but you really need to have those big names. And I like the fact that DC is doing that. They're showing us this is the Justice League, this is his origin, this is the Justice League now. And on a side note, I like to say that I am happy that they're putting Cyborg in. I'm a huge Martian Manhunter fan. But to be honest, he really didn't fit on the team as well as, say, someone Cyborg would. Let me explain. It's not necessarily Martian Manhunter's personality or who he is, it's more or less his powers. The Justice League should be known for its diversity in powers. Martian Manhunter, with the exception of telepathy, invisibility, shapeshifting, and being able to phase through things, and also telekinesis, his powers are pretty much the same as Superman. He can be as strong as Superman, as fast as Superman, as durable as Superman except for fire, and well, he's basically a Superman clone with a few tweaks here and there. Cyborg adds diversity when it comes down to the powers. You have Aquaman, who is an aquatic-based superhero who has a bit of magic in there, and he can talk to animals and stuff. You have Wonder Woman, who has the Amazon-based powers, the Golden Lasso of Truth, the Tiara, and also fighting skill. You have Green Lantern, who has the Willpower Ring. Flash, super fast. Superman. You have Batman, who's all intellect, fighting skill, and gadgets, and then you can have Cyborg on there that is a living computer. He can hack into stuff. He has various different tools and weapons. He's like a giant Swiss Army knife. And I think it's good that they're putting Cyborg on there. And it's not like they're putting any Joe Schmo. Cyborg is a cool character. I've enjoyed him in Teen Titans, and I'm sure I'm going to enjoy him in Justice League. It's not like John Jones is being erased. He's being put on Stormwatch. As random as that is, at least he's somewhere. So that's one good thing that I like that DC is doing. on the topic of Cyborg, one of the bad things I do not like that they're doing is that they are erasing the new Teen Titans from continuity. Or at least they're looking like they are. The general consensus is that the Teen Titans comic coming out, the #1 coming out, is going to be the origin of the Teen Titans team. That means Dick Grayson, Donna Troy, Cyborg, Wally West, Jericho, you name them all. There was never a Teen Titans before them. And if you even look at the comics themselves, Dick Grayson is probably the only exception, but he's Nightwing again. But Starfire is probably just coming into Earth. Cyborg's going to be a founding member of the Justice League, or so we think. Where's Wally? Hmm? Where's Donna? Hmm? Red Arrow is going to be on, or Speedy, or Arsenal is going to be on the Outlaws. But I mean, where's Garth? Aqualad, is he still dead? Does he even exist? What's the deal? So, I don't like the fact that they're erasing the Teen Titans. They could change the Teen Titans so it works like this. You have an original team, and Cyborg doesn't need to be on the team, but, it would be nice if he did. But let's say you had the original team, and it consisted of the founding four, Aqualad, Speedy, Robin, and Donna. And then you also have the likes of Starfire, Raven, Changeling, and on that team. You can leave Cyborg out. As much as I love Cyborg, you can leave him out and keep him as a founding member of the Justice League. And then you can have those people team up for a good amount of time, and then they break up, and then we have this new team. I don't see what the problem is with having an old Teen Titans team. I know they're condensing the timeline a bit, and they're also going to be de-aging people, but really, it's not out of the possibility of having an old Teen Titan team and a new Teen Titan team. With that said, that's one thing I think is bad. The George Perez, Marv Wolfman stuff is some of the best comics I've ever read, and it's not going to be in continuity anymore. So bad. A good thing I do like is that this is a chance to de-age and to condense the timeline a bit. Now, a lot of people are kind of iffy on this. This is a controversial topic people are talking about, but this gives DC an opportunity to de-age their characters a little and to condense their timeline a bit and to make a new timeline a little bit more clearer. DC's tried its best to make its continuity fit, but it hasn't always worked. And there's characters like Batman or even Barry that have had sidekicks that when the sidekicks age, they're going to have to age. Now, I don't think characters should be de-aged to the age of like 25. I think they should be around 30 to 33. That's a safe age to put them. If you think about it, and specifically I'm going to use Batman for the example because he's had more sidekicks than anyone. Let's just say you have everyone on the Justice League be around the age of 30 to 35. But we'll use Batman as a staple. Batman's 30 to 35. Dick is about 10 years younger. So 20 to 25, 30 to 33, sorry. And then you have Dick that's 20 to 23. Then you have Tim that's 14 to 16, roughly there. And, you can put Jason's age somewhere in between there. Have him be a little bit closer to Dick's age. And that would kind of work out for them. You can do the same thing for Barry. You can have Barry be at the age around 30 to 35. You can have Wally be in his early 20s, if Wally's around. You can have Bart be in his early teens. Wonder Woman, if Donna does come back, Donna could be in her early 20s. Cassie, Cassandra, Sandmark, she can be in her early teens. And then Supergirl can be in her early teens as she should be, as well as Superboy. It's a tricky thing. Whether or not it's going to work is up in the air. But let me clarify, because I'm sure I screwed up while talking. Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Flash, those characters should be around, their early 30s. This gives you a good opportunity to tell stories that are believable without Batman getting old and gray and dying, or anything like that. So I think it's good that they are de-aging the characters a bit. Batman seems to be a bit younger, Green Lantern seems a bit younger, but I don't like the fact that Superman is going to be very much younger. But for the most part, if it's handled well, then it could be a benefit for the comics. I also liked how they're condensing the timeline a bit. Right now, you can argue, but, superheroes like Batman and Superman, before the relaunch, have been around for about 10 to 15 years, more aiming for the 15-year mark. Now you can have them around for around, 9 to 10 years. I know that there's debate that, they're only going to be around for 5 years, but I don't see how that's going to work with all of Batman's continuity not being changed. I'm sure there's changes here and there, but, I mean, you need at least a good 9 years for you even condensing for Batman's timeline to work. We're just going to have to wait and see exactly on how that is going to work, which could be a pitfall for DC. Condensing his timeline a bit. If you condense the timeline for one character and you de-age a character and you reboot them slightly, how is that going to affect another character? We've been told that Batman and Green Lantern are staying relatively untouched. A few tweaks here and there, but for the most part they're untouched. But Superman and Wonder Woman are being changed completely. So how is that going to affect story crossovers that have been done with those characters? When Superman interacts with Batman, or when Wonder Woman interacts with Batman, when Green Lantern interacts with Superman in certain stories. Are those stories being changed up? I mean, Superman and Batman, as much as they're different, have been pretty much like this in their comics. And you can actually follow their comics timeline-wise with each other, map things out with them. If Superman is younger, how's that going to affect Batman's continuity if it's not going to be changed? I guess this is more Justice League stuff, but it's still something to think about. Still something to think about. So that's a pitfall that they could fall into. A bad that I think they're doing is, although it's great that they're rebranding their comics and starting things fresh, some of the 52 selections I don't agree with. For example, nothing against these comics, but Resurrection Man? Really? Really? Why him and not have a Red Robin comic? Or maybe you can have an Outsiders comic. Why do we have Deathstroke the Terminator in his own comic? I love Deathstroke. He's one of my favorite villains of all time. But why don't we have an Atom comic? Where's Atom? We saw him on a teaser for the Justice League, but I mean, where is he? So really, I think some of the 52 picks that they did, not all of them, but probably maybe 5 to 10 of them, I would have changed. As much as I like the concept that they're going to do OMAC, I mean, do we really need OMAC? Could we have something else thrown in there? Maybe, let me think, who's not really being used? Wally. Why not a Wally comic? He doesn't have to be the Flash, although I think Wally's history should stay intact. That's another bad thing, is that I don't like the fact that, they have some comics like Resurrection Man and, you have OMAC or Deathstroke that aren't really going to be good, or like Batwing. It's like, nothing against Batwing. I don't know much about him. For all I know, it's going to be a fantastic comic. You never know with Judd Winnick, but I mean, really, we have Batwing. We could have something else that people will buy. Why not have a Robin comic? I'm a little confused on that. So that's something that I think is just not going to work out for them. Justice Society is another case, or Power Girl or something. One good thing I do like that they're doing is this gives us a chance to update things, like the Justice Society. It does need to be updated. It does need to make more sense. These characters have been around since World War II. They are ridiculously old. They should be updated. This also gives us a chance to clean up some origins, too. This gives us a chance to clean up Donna's origin, who is a complete continuity mess. Greatest character that was ever made off an editorial mistake. But her continuity is a complete mess if you've ever followed her. Power Girls, this gives us a chance to kind of revamp Power Girl, change her up. I know a lot of people are fans of the Earth 2 continuity for Power Girl, but I would like to see her be her own woman, to have a unique and interesting backstory. So this gives us a chance to fix up some of the dated or relatively confusing backstories for the comics, which is nice. This also gives us a chance to update the costumes. From what I've seen from the costumes so far, I've been, for the most part, happy. There are a few things here and there, like Superman's costume. You need to break up the blue a bit. Same with Batman's, but Batman's a little bit more forgivable because his is a dark gray, so it kind of blends a little bit better. But for the most part, the costumes look good. There are a few things I would change here and there. Supergirls, Superboys, Wonder Girls, Deathstrokes, stuff like that I would change. But for the most part, the costumes look good. So I like the fact that they're getting a fresh take on the costume. And this is going to be specifically for Wonder Woman. Excuse me, I'm moving around something on my computer because I have a picture in the background. But, as much as I've been a proponent for the classic Wonder Woman, the new costume, I think, is going to work out well. It's modernized, it's updated. I love classic Wonder Woman. But the thing I'm more concerned about with Wonder Woman is her history and who she is as a character. costumes don't bother me that much. If they change up Wonder Woman's costume, that's fine. Don't screw around with her history too much. I know it's going to happen, but that's the thing that I was worried about the most with Wonder Woman. But like, you know, Batman's costume constantly changes over the years. There's been several Batman costumes. You know, Aquaman's costume has changed through the years. Green Lanterns, for the most part. I mean, there's only a few characters that haven't had their costumes changed. Look at Robin. You know, you go from the Dick Grayson, Jason Todd costume that has the, you know, underwear tighties to the green and red tights that Tim Drake had, to the black and red that he had, to now Damian's costume. Evolution of costumes aren't bad things. Certain costumes that would change, but for the most part, the costumes look good. Um, Possible pitfall for DC. While it's good to update characters and to change characters slightly, they should not lose touch to who they are. I'm talking to you, Wonder Woman. I'm talking to you. Wonder Woman, I never understood how people found Wonder Woman too complex and too hard to understand. What is hard to understand about Wonder Woman? I can explain Wonder Woman to you in, well, let's say 30 seconds. Keep count. She's an Amazon from an island that has women that have been protected by the Greek gods. She is chosen out of all the Amazons to leave to help out man's world and spread the word of peace. And along the way, she becomes a superhero. She has the powers of an increased strength, speed, durability, and magical aspects. What is so hard to understand about that? Huh? We don't need to turn Wonder Woman the Barbarian, which is what I heard might happen. Again, this is all rumors. It's not until we actually read the comics do we have any official information. But I heard they're trying to make Wonder Woman more like Xena. No. I love Wonder Woman because she's like a diplomat. She's like an ambassador. She empowers people, not just women. Although she's a great woman role model. But after reading Wonder Woman, you sit down and you go, "Geez, this character is awesome. She makes me want to be a better person." And I don't know if we're gonna get that with level 15 barbarian rage frenzy berserker Wonder Woman D&D reference. But change characters, that's fine, but keep them true to who they are. Modernize them, that's fine, but keep them true to who they are. Aquaman should be recognizably Aquaman. Batman should recognizably be Batman. You know, Superman should recognizably be Superman. That is the case. That's how the characters should be done up. Now, if you change them slightly, that's okay. You can modernize them, that's okay, but have them be recognizable. So that's a pitfall that they could fall into. It's a good thing that they're doing updates, but it's a pitfall they could fall into. Off the top of my head, I can't really think of anything else. There was definitely more that I was thinking about. Oh, you know, this is a minor thing, and I don't know if this falls into any of the categories, but the old costumes I think should stay in continuity. Like Batman should have had the year one costume, he should have had the black tights and all that stuff. I don't know if they're keeping that. I don't know if Wonder Woman always had this new costume, or Superman's always had this new costume. Maybe Superman had the red tights at one point. I mean, it's okay for some characters like, you know, Flash or Aquaman or Green Lantern, whose costume really hasn't changed. But I like the old costumes too, so I like to keep them in continuity. Whether or not that's the case is up in the air. And I don't know if that falls into any categories, but I thought I'd just throw this out there. I've been talking for a long time, and I hope this has spurred up maybe some debate or something, or maybe some interest or anything like that. I would really like to hear your opinions on this subject. A side note is when it comes to the relaunch, soon I will be posting up a video talking about how I'm going to be formatting my reviews for comics from this point onwards. For those of you who are worried about trade paperbacks and stuff like that, fear not, I'm going to explain exactly how things are going to go. Although I'm not going to be doing trade paperbacks anymore, you're still going to have the benefit of getting a review of them. You'll see when I actually explain it. I might actually do that video next. Why not? I'm starting to get wired up. So anyways, with that said, I hope you find this enjoyable. I hope you find this interesting. I'm sure I had more on my mind, but I'm sleep deprived. I just said I'm wired up, but I am a little sleep deprived. So I would like to hear your opinions, and as always, this is Andrew saying peace out for now. Quick little side note before I go. I was just moseying around on the internet, and I found that there's an image for Detective Comics #2, and also there is a Huntress image. I don't know if it's for Huntress #1. It says something about a 5-issue arc, but maybe Huntress will join up and have her own issue, which would be good, her own series. Um, Information is still up in the air. I got my information on newsarama.com, so check it out. And I guess this is Andrew saying peace out for real for now.